And we start tonight with breaking news. The driver of a Porsche that crashed into a crowd in Boise last year will spend next week in jail. Roy Drennan was found guilty of one count of reckless driving following the crash, which injured 14 people.
Now, besides spending a week in jail, Drennan's driver's license will be yanked temporarily. He's required to do 100 hours of community service and will be on unsupervised probation for 2 years.
CBS 2's Haley Kramer's live. She's here in studio to share what one victim's family has to say about the sentence.
The judge sentenced Drennan to 180 days, but suspended all but 7 of them. He said he wanted Drennan to be in jail over Thanksgiving to ruin his holiday, as he's ruined holidays for so many families. Today, I caught up with one of the victims' families once again to talk about how they're moving forward.
Alex called me. I'll never forget the cry on the phone.
Esther's daughter told her she was hit by a car.
Me thinking it was car on car until I got to the hospital and seen all those kids in the emergency room.
When I met Alex, she was in so much pain she had to be carried from room to room. She couldn't walk. Esther says the severe, deep bruising continued to show up months after the crash.
She was a good student, you know. She wanted to be a pediatrician. She had hopes and dreams just like, you know, the average graduating senior, and then this accident happens.
She missed so much school that she wasn't able to graduate with her classmates.
You don't get those years back. You don't get senior year back. And she's had her emotional moments where she's broke down and cried because she'll never get to experience that.
Since September of last year, Esther says her daughter's condition hasn't improved much. So although she's tried, she can't work because she can't stand up for very long.
Her day-to-day, she gets up, depending on her pain level. Some days she doesn't even get out of bed. And it's getting colder, so she feels it more now.
Alex is in physical therapy and may have to have major hip surgery. Esther says Alex has dealt with anxiety since that day, in everyday moments like when she's standing on sidewalks or driving in a car.
It's hard. It's hard. As a mother, I almost lost my daughter that day, and you know, even though I said that a year ago, it's a very real, could have happened, you know, and our family's already been through a lot over the last year, and that, I don't know, you know, I don't know.
The crash weighed heavily on their family, and while they dealt with the trauma, they also lost someone they both loved dearly. Esther's husband lost his battle to colon cancer just 4 months later. She says they're able to push through this difficult time because their faith is strong.
It's not us that he's going to have to answer to in the end. You know, the judge gave us his sentence. We're okay with whatever the judge decided. I'm sure that Roy has his own mental torment he's dealing with, especially being a father, knowing he was the one that made that decision for himself and all our children that day.
Drennan addressed the victims and families who were in court today, taking full responsibility for what he did. He told the judge no punishment could be worse than the punishment he puts on himself. This probably isn't the last time Drennan will be in court. He faces several civil lawsuits from the victims in this crash. Live in the studio, Haley Kramer, CBS 2 News.